Well. Look who's here. Looks like the crew of Saturday morning cartoons has appeared. Good morning, Terry. This is bizarre. This is the coolest thing. Okay, I have to tell you guys something real quick. I've already told Rose and Jerome what's going on. I have hooked my laptop up to my 65-inch TV. So if you look at me right now, I am looking at my 65-inch TV with the studio and everything on it. But if I look this way, this is the laptop that has the camera on it. Okay, so hi everybody, welcome. Good morning, Saturday morning cartoons, all you guys. Hey Charlie, good morning over there in Nevada. Good to see you, brother. But it's like having a drive-in movie screen, okay, as your monitor right now, and it's just freaking amazing. Another Saturday morning cartoons day.
Mark, your speaker needs to be what, on your left-hand side, hanging from something if it's a drive-in theater?
Exactly. And hold on. I can sit for a minute while I get out of the car to go get popcorn.
There you go. And don't forget the hot dogs, because we all want to. Let's all go to the lobby.
Hey, Becky. Welcome, girl. Good to see you here. And you said I like Tom and Jerry as well as a lot of other cartoons. Well, you will be sorely disappointed this morning, lady. Because let me tell you, okay, with last week having to put up with Rose's fantastic work of art, as it always ends up after my complaints. Now is my time to complain about Jerome's piece of crap show he's got going on here. And today, as you know, oh, wait a minute, I need to do, excuse me for a minute, I need to put up, put this back up. Oh my God. And another thing with it being on my 65-inch TV is your faces are 10 times bigger. and I have to scream sometimes.
Yeah, and I'm not wearing makeup this morning.
I forgot to put the eyeliner on too, so you know.
Speaking of eyeliner, let me tell you about these bags. But answering David's question here, yeah, David, I've been up since 1:30, man. Dude, Mannix, Cannon, Barnaby Jones, 2 episodes of freaking NYPD Blue. 2 episodes of Superman. Cheyenne was on before that. Yep, I've been up.
So you binged Quinn Martin Productions.
Right, that's what it was. You know, and it made me laugh because either the words at the bottom of the title during the opening credits pop in, or you literally hear a voice saying,
"Hey, Quinn Martin Production."
I'm so old. Oh my God, I'm so damn old. But those were the days. Those were the days, guys. When we had. Okay, Saturday morning cartoons. So this is Jerome's department this week. Thank you so much. And he's going to be talking about a very, very important subject. And even though some of the things that he's going to be mentioning in his bit, I actually remember. But on the flip side of that, there is a few of them that are like, what? I've never heard of.
Yeah, but you're also a weirdo.
Well,
I think he's a television aficionado.
Oh, okay. Yeah. There you go.
Television aficionado. I will admit to that in a minute. I watched a lot of television but I did blend it in with sports too. I was really very active in sports. So today we're going to let Jerome run with this and see what the hell he's talking about because this has got to be cute. Go for it. Did you comb your hair?
Nah, sort of.
Yeah, you got a little of a Superman sweep that was going on there.
You kind of wrecked it. You wrecked it,
Yeah, but we all know better. He ain't no Superman.
There.
Okay. There you go. Okay, Clark.
Then I do that. You can't tell.
Morning, Cheryl. The lovely Cheryl is here, guys. Just
hi, Cheryl.
All right.
Okay, go for it, Jerome. I'm trying to cue up your tapes
all right.
here.
So we all know the big ones, okay? We all know the Jetsons, the Flintstones, Scooby-Doo, Josie and the Pussycats, Super Friends. We've talked ad nauseum about the greats of Saturday morning television. As a matter of fact, we all have been formed by those great shows. But there were always the failures of those Saturday mornings. The shows that many of us watched, but we couldn't tell you what it was that we watched. 5 seconds after we watched it. Okay? And to this day, you'll go, yeah, I watched it. And then when you ask, well, what was it about? You go, okay. And so these are some of the ones that I found out. And thank you to MeTV's webpage for starting me down this terrible road by talking about our very first show that we're going to talk about. In 1966, a man by the name, and see if you recognize this name, Mark, you too, Rose, by the name of Bob Kane created a show. You ever heard
Bob Kane?
The Bob Kane.
Really?
Hogan's Heroes Bob Kane.
No.
Okay. Oh, Kane. Kane with
Batman.
Kane with a K.
There you go.
Got it.
Okay.
All right, I'll repeat myself. The Bob Kane?
Yes, The Bob
Okay.
Kane.
All right.
Okay. Came up because this was in 1966. And what was popular movies going on in 1966?
Oh my God. Batman was going on in 1966.
Yes.
Well, Batman. There you go.
Yeah, what else? What else?
Green Hornet. Get Smart.
Get Smart. Yep. What else? Now, what was popular in the theaters?
You know,
Martini Drinker. There you go. Okay. So spies, because you had Mad Helm, you had Our Man Flint. Those are obscure movies. Go find them. You know, you'll love them. You had the Bond films. You had Get Smart. We had the Wild Wild West. Spies were everywhere, real life and in make believe. So Saturday morning had to follow, and what followed was a disaster. Okay, what followed was a show called Cool McCool. Okay, all right, and this was a basically the equivalent of Get Smart on the cartoons. His father was a cop with his friend Henry McCool, with his best buddies Tom and Dick, and the villains were just parodies right off of the Batman TV show. The problem was, why did this show fail? It was up against Superman, Casper, and then in the second season, it got moved to 12 o'clock in the afternoon. So this show never had a chance. So why don't you go ahead and run that clip and watch how horrible this was.
And I just want to preface this to everyone by saying this is probably the whitest cartoon I've ever
Not yet.
It's like, oh my God, really?
Double O, C-double-O, C-double-O-L, C-double-O-L, Mac. Cool, Mac, cool. Danger is his business. The owl is flying high, frightening to the eye. The rattler is nearby, Cool is on the fly. Danger is his business, Madcap's back in town. Yeah, for Cool a crown. Boxes are a-poppin', Cool is kept a-hoppin'. Danger is his business, that's Hurricane Harry, with all the wind he can carry. Cool the coolest.
Danger is my business.
He sounded like Jack Benny there.
I know. Okay, you can kill that.
Oh, pleasure.
So as you can see, even the theme was horrible, an attempt at being hip, and it was just wretched. Okay.
Oh.
It kind of reminds me of Dick Tracy a little bit. It has cat whiskers for some reason.
Yeah, that's probably the trench coat, I think, too.
Okay, so this was pretty horrible, but it wasn't the worst.
Yes, thank you. You're going to bring up the worst.
Yes.
Thank you for ruining my freaking morning.
Well, I figured. See, the goal here is to help you go to sleep, and if we give you the boring and the obscure, then maybe you'll fall asleep during the show and get some rest because you look tired.
Oh, I've been through your collection. We haven't gotten to the boring stuff yet. Oh my God.
So this next one is considered possibly the worst animated show of all time. Okay, National Association of Broadcasters stated that this next one is called Super President. It says an all-time low in bad taste with the President of the United States in a Superman role. NBC was responsible for this direct ideological approach to totalitarianism. Okay. The show was canceled halfway through its second season. Okay. So basically what you have is a president with superpowers going around the world, basically saving the world, whatever. And beneath the White House is not a bunker, but the equivalent of the Batcave. Okay.
It's a good premise. I think it sounds like a fun premise.
Yeah, not really. Not in 1967 during the whole craziness with the Vietnam War and everything else about to explode. Why don't you run that lovely clip I gave you, and then it started about 1 minute and 30 seconds, if you could, please.
1:30, you say?
Yeah.
Right.
This is not the opening theme. This is just a scene so you can see how horrible this really is.
I already got a stomach ache. Would you say 1:30?
Yep.
How about 1:26?
That's fine.
Something's wrong. I'd better signal the guards.
Blast it! I've got to get out of here. You win this round, Super President. But Sales will make sure that I win the next and final one.
Any word yet, Commander?
No, sir. Wait a second, sir. There's an urgent call for you on the speaker screen.
I thought it might be you. What have you done with Jerry?
Look for yourself.
Are you all right, Jerry?
Yes, sir. Tell Uncle Hardy not to worry. That's enough.
Who the hell is Jerry?
Jerry's his assistant.
If the guards are not removed from the security vault by then, Sales will die.
Seal?
Uncle Hardy.
Seals are gonna die? They're gonna kill Seal?
No.
Andy Hardy. Laurel and Hardy. That's it. There's a Point Laurel not far from Castle Falls.
Figured that out all by himself.
He has a jet
There's
plane.
Point Laurel. That turn works. I've never noticed that before. I think I'd better have a look in there. Strange. The door's open.
Your time is almost up, Sales. Soon I will have the secret molecular disintegrator.
This looks like a prison.
You were correct.
Okay, you can stop it at any time you want.
Thank you, Jesus. Okay, anyway, so...
Okay, I would have liked to have had that chair for my kids back in the day.
But, okay, so not only does he have a bat cave instead of a bunker, he's got a secret jet plane that he flies around in that takes off right next to the White House, but nobody notices it.
No. Where's Air Force One? Well, they didn't have Air Force.
Yes, they did. They did. Back in the Air Force One was started under Truman. I just read an article about it.
That's how he goes out and gets donuts. You know, he's got his own personal jet.
He also has a jetpack belt that he can fly with for short distances.
Wow.
So did I read that right? Was the bad guy called the Man of Steel?
Yes. Yes.
And what's wrong with that? You know?
Trademark.
Hey, trademark alert.
So not only do people, when he's as president, know him as Super President, as you noticed, because he was talking through the video phone. He's now wears this Garsh outfit, which I'm still trying to figure out what that symbol is on his chest.
I think it's like an atom, maybe.
I don't know. Okay, but this one is a universally despised cartoon. Everywhere I looked up on this one, people hated this one back in the 60s. Okay. And I'll be honest, when I first started seeing things about this, when we made comments about it on a previous show, I had never heard of Super President.
I haven't either.
You know? So, all right. So now we'll leave that show and move on to something else that's just as bad almost, is the Hector Heathcote show. There he is, little Hector Heathcote, 18-year-old colonial patriot. All right, now this started off as a series of theatrical shorts back in the late 1950s.
Yeah, I'll show you
Okay.
some shorts.
Right. Ran for 2 seasons, replaced the Sherry Lewis show.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
that is blasphemy. Blasphemy.
lamb chop.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Blasphemy.
He shows up dressed like he is right there, with the exception of the peace pipe. He shows up in various points in American history. Okay. And during the later on, he gets bullied by a guy named Benedict, who is supposed to be a parody of Benedict Arnold.
Didn't we have the Mr. Peabody show already where they went back in history?
You know, I agree. I don't understand it either. But that's what it is. This was pretty horrible. I had never heard of this show. This ran from 1963 for 2 seasons. They say it was in reruns later in the 60s, but I never saw it. So go ahead and run the clip, and you can run the first 2 minutes.
Do I have to?
Yeah, you know, torture is required right now.
All right, first 2 minutes, you say?
Yeah, that's right.
First 2 minutes, you get.
And if you can't stand it anymore, Rose, tell us and we'll turn it off.
Oh, excuse me, guys. I'm hitting buttons.
The early West was won by men of courage, ambitious men. Ambitious men. Men who met every challenge head-on and unafraid. One such man was Hector Heathcote.
Help! Help!
All men to the battle stations. Heathcote, get up on that wall.
Right, Commander, sir. Pardon me, sir.
Get back on that wall.
Yes, sir, Commander. Need the ladder, sir.
He's incredible.
Pardon me, Commander. Pardon me, Commander.
Incredible.
Help! Let me in! Help! Help!
I feel this is a mistake.
Don't we all?
It was. Heathcote! I can't let these men see their commander cry.
They're retreating into the woods, Commander.
Good! The first attack is broken, but they'll be back. All men fall in here! Men, we're short on manpower, and we're short on ammunition. We can't stand another attack. I need a volunteer to sneak through the Indian lines for help. All right. Someone step forward.
Ouch.
Sorry, sir. I'll go.
I'll be glad to see you go, Heathcote.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sorry, my finger slipped.
Uh-huh.
Super annoying. He's annoying.
Isn't that child abuse?
Yeah, well, he's 18.
Oh,
it's legal.
He just made the cut. Now I
Right.
got it.
So think about this, that this thing ran for 2 seasons.
2 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God! Hey, there's a cat there.
Oh yeah. She wanted to come in and say hi.
So, okay, so this is, I'd never heard of this show. Okay.
Well, there's a reason
neither have
why, probably.
Yeah.
But you know, the art looks very familiar. Was it by the same studio that did like Rocky and Bullwinkle?
I think so.
Interesting.
I couldn't find any major info on that. You
But
know?
yeah, they probably wanted to disavow it. So.
I think you're right.
No. We have a few others that they want to disavow.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, to protect the guilty. Okay. So the next one is a live action show. It was an import from Britain, and a number of somewhat famous people got their start on it. It was called Here Come the Double Deckers. This is based out of London. Kids have a clubhouse that's built out of a junk double-decker bus, and they go and they do different things. Now, actor Peter Firth got his start here. Okay?
Which one is he? Is he in this picture?
He's the leader of the gang. I don't know which character he is, but there's one of them Let's see here. Peter Firth down in the bottom corner.
Oh, there it is. Bottom right.
Okay, they don't have him labeled, but the black kid right
actually,
there.
his name is there. Peter
Okay.
Firth.
Yep.
Bottom right. I'm on the big screen TV, so I can see it a little better, I guess.
Okay, so if you see the kid over there, he started a band called Aswad. I'd never heard of the band,
No.
but it won a number of Grammys and all that, and was somewhat influential. Now, here's a fun fact. One of the early roles as a guest star was Jane Seymour on this show.
Wow.
At what age is that we're talking?
I had to be young, man. She
12, 13,
she later on, because this show was 1970, and then in 1975-ish, she was in one of the Sinbad films. And you know how they dressed in those films.
Yes.
Okay. So she had to have been fairly young in there. You can find it online. But this went on to the number of these kids went on to have interesting careers after they left the show. One of them went on to become a rather famous physician in the British system who was an epidemiologist. Another one became a theoretical physicist that won major awards. These kids actually had some interesting lives when they walked away from acting.
Yeah, they actually fell back on their talent.
Right. Now, here's the thing. The music an album was released of the music from this show and did fairly well, both in Britain and in the States. Okay, and there's a huge cult following of this show in Britain.
Only in Britain.
It showed up here in the United States in 1970. They were halfway filming through the second season when they abruptly canceled it and just stopped filming. So only 17 episodes were filmed.
Wow.
Yeah. So go ahead and run the clip. This is the opening theme and all of that, so you can see what's going on. I couldn't bear watching any of the episodes.
Get on board, come and join the double deckers. Take a ticket for a journey on a double decker London bus. Ring a bell to the horn when you ride with the double deckers. Fun and laughter is what we're after on a double decker bus.
I'm gonna kill you, Jerome. Oh my God.
On a double decker
Okay.
Thank you. I need Cheryl to answer this, please. What?
Yeah, that's the same thing I was thinking. I'm like, what?
Where?
I never heard of it before.
The Double Deckers was on ABC.
Oh,
Okay.
God, man. Must have been like 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a Saturday.
I don't know, but man, I just saw that and I watched some of the clips and I was just like, oh, the pain. You know?
You're right about that.
I don't know what they were thinking, and I don't know. I mean, it was the Rad 60s when they first did it, so it was London mod 60s. So who knows what was going on over in London?
Boy.
All right.
Even the black kid didn't have any rhythm.
Yeah, well, actually, he did because he went on to form a rather famous band. So.
Oh, okay. Well, I stand corrected. Sorry, dude.
Yeah.
You're
Okay. Now here's the most obscure one I've seen so far. Okay. As a matter of fact, it's so obscure you can only find a clip of their Hollywood their Halloween special and the opening theme. It is considered a lost show, and it's called The Curiosity Shop. Okay. And The Curiosity Shop was created by Mr. Chuck Jones. All right. Let me give you a little history on the show. Sponsored by Kellogg, the show was a commercial response to Sesame Street. Think about that for a moment. Okay. Ran for 2 seasons. Now, they got lots of big names in this because who wrote the title music to it? Henry Mancini.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Okay. So basically what you got is 3 kids go into this curiosity pawn shop, curio, whatever, and they discover a number of weird objects. Some of them are very Muppet-like. Some of them are puppets, etc. And they go on, and then there's other live actors, and they interact with everybody. And then each show has a theme: science, math, whatever. And the whole show is raced around that one theme for that day. Okay, it started in 1971 off of ABC also, and from what I found is apparently all copies of this show are lost.
Oh,
Yeah.
how'd that happen?
You got to remember back in the early 70s and the late 60s and all that, video technology was still expensive. So if they and the tapes were expensive. So there's a possibility that a lot of recording over of tapes was done. Because I don't know if this was done on film or videotape. But either way, people have been looking for this because it's a Chuck Jones creation.
Right.
The Chuck Jones Museum's got sort of a standing order out to people with reward. If you can find the copies to this thing, they would love to get hold of copies of it. But nobody can find anything. And so right now, after all the years that they've been looking for it, they've pretty much declared this a lost show.
I see.
Okay. So go ahead and run it. This is the clip. This is the only clip I've been able to find. So the quality is still pretty crappy also.
I forgot what I was going to say. Hello.
All right.
That's all that I've been able to find, with the exception of a clip from their Halloween special. Other than that, I can't find anything. And
A little bit creepy to me. A little bit creepy.
And this is part of the reason why I was a day late getting this list to you, Mark. I was trying to find anything for this show because it's Chuck Jones.
Right. Gotcha.
Okay. So again, I mean, a commercial Sesame Street. I'm not sure quite how that worked out, but apparently it didn't do so well. It ran for 2 seasons, and
Right.
I never heard of it. You know.
Well, at least we saw something of it.
Yeah. Okay. The next one came to us in 1977, and it started in Florida.
Yeah, blame everything on us.
Yeah, well, you know what? Apparently, it's called Big John, Little John, and apparently, Big John on the left there took a drink from a spring in Florida that turned out to be the Fountain of Youth.
Had to be in St. Augustine.
Okay. So,
Florida man drinks water, becomes young child.
well, here's the problem. He doesn't become a young child permanently. He sort of switches back and forth at the most inopportune time.
Got to give both the actors a job.
Well,
man.
exactly. As a matter of fact, though, they his wife and child know his what he's doing, and they had to dye the kid's hair so that he would match the adult. So he's a science teacher who drinks from it, and then at random times turns into this 12-year-old boy. Now, here's a question. Do you recognize the kid?
Of course.
And
of course. Brady Bunch, Oliver.
That's right, Robbie Wrist.
Robbie Rich.
Wow.
Now,
He had glasses in the Brady Bunch. He was
That's
a pain
right.
in the ass. That's when they jumped the shark.
now Robbie Risk,
Agreed.
for all of the problems that he's had, he has actually done a lot of acting. He's also done a lot of voiceover work, but he's also been fairly active in Hollywood. Guess who created this show?
Let me guess. I don't know personally, but let me guess. This looks like something that maybe Norman Lear would do.
Nope.
Sherwood Schwartz.
Sherwood Schwartz.
Sherwood Schwartz. There you go.
There you go. Okay. Ran for 13 episodes only. Never been released on DVD. Now, apparently, who said they watched this show? Who said that?
Everett said he remembers it. And
Wow.
I think David over there in Nebraska said he saw that show.
I think the two of these two need to go and get some therapy.
Well,
Okay.
I have to admit, I think I saw it too.
Oh my God.
Sorry, I think I did.
Well, why don't you, for everyone else and for Rose, who looks like she doesn't understand how horrible it is, why don't you go ahead and run the opening clip, please?
Well, if you're going to force me to do it, I will do it. Yeah, on the screen here. Come on. Go. Come on. Where'd you go? There you go. Play me, Mark. Play me.
Big John has a problem, as you can plainly see. 1 minute he's 40, the next he's 33. Big John keeps a-changing before your very eyes. He's 25, and then 19, then 12 years old inside.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Big John, Little John, what a way to grow. Big John, Little John, from high to low. Big John found the fountain of youth. He drank a little drink, and that magic water is the thing that made him shrink. Now even when he's Little John, he never knows just when. Zap, he'll change and rearrange, and he's Big John again.
So
Okay.
we
It
kind of
looks
saw.
dreadful.
Yeah, it does. We kind of saw 2 additional actors in there. I wonder, did they stop midstream on an episode or so to
No.
let those actors actually act?
No, what they do is they, because CGI didn't exist back then, they would get like actors to put in there.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
okay, so for all of those of you who say that you remember, it only ran for 13 episodes,
Wow.
and it's
Okay.
never been released on DVD.
Okay.
Okay.
That's the reason
So-
why, I think.
Thank you, Rose. Thank you. Now imagine this, I mean, the potentials of what they could do with this were if this had been a primetime show, this could have been some fun adult
That
comedy.
actually would be something that would show up on primetime television.
Yeah,
during
I could see something like this on, like, say, one of the cable channels.
that. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
nowadays.
It could be done a lot better, I think.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
then,
it's even interesting that it was shown on Saturdays, especially Saturday mornings. I can see it going either way. It could be a Friday night 8 o'clock show or a Saturday morning show.
like I said, there could have been a lot of adult themes that have gotten through on this. And
Yes, like if you was in bed with a woman and then bam.
That show reminds me kind of like the Freaky Friday with
Yes.
yes.
yeah,
They had the original one with
Freaky
Jodie
Friday,
Foster,
right.
which I love that one. And
Well,
then they've had several different versions of it in the 1980s and 90s. They
Right.
did
The
it ad
originals, the
nauseam.
originals were my favorite.
Well, this
Yeah,
was
of
in
course.
this was in 76. So I don't know when the Jodie Foster Freaky Friday came out.
68, 69, I think.
Was it? I thought it was the 70s.
It might have been early
It could have
70s.
been. Yeah, it could have been
Yeah.
early
So
70s.
if the Cartoon Crew can find out and let us know when Jodie Foster Freaky Friday'd on us.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
That would be nice. So yeah, but yeah, like I said, I had never seen it, never heard of it. I didn't even. I have to go and look and see what it was up against, but it must have been up against something really popular because
Yeah.
only 13 episodes. That basically means it goes from without preemption, it goes from September to December.
Right.
You know,
Hey,
so
Jerome, are there any cartoons in this?
why there are some cartoons coming up, as a matter of fact. As a matter of fact, the next one is called Bailey's Comets. 1973 on CBS. Was basically a ripoff of the Wacky Racers. Okay. And what you have is a roller skating team, because this was popular. Roller skating was popular. And along with roller derby. Races around the world in their thing in an Amazing Race style scavenger hunt for $1 million. Okay. And they go up against other teams and everything else. So go ahead and run that clip. And
I think I got an answer for Cheryl on Freaky Friday, 1970.
There you go.
So the Corey come up with 1976. Pretty cool, guys. Thank you so much. Get your Bailey's comments. I want to say Bill Haley in the comments. I guess that's what.
Well, yeah, that's probably where they stole the name from.
Yeah, probably so. Hold on. I'm flipping through buttons here.
Chasing around the world's what they're doing, racing to find the next clue. Will it be Bailey's Comets winning? Will it be Bailey's or who? Well, out of the back come the Texas Black Cats, followed by the Jekyll Hides. Then the Railroad Rivers, Chester Busters, Roller Coasters, Stone Rollers, Cosmic Rays, Gargantuan Giants, they all try to get them ahead of Bailey's Comets, whether by hook or by crook. There's a rock and rollers, groomer girls, and roller bears, and what the prize of mystery on the old, and almost everyone realized they're all out there racing, roller skating. Everybody's racing, everybody's chasing, everyone's out to find the next big clue that's gonna lead them to the $1 million prize. Yeah, everyone's out to find the next big clue that's gonna lead them to the $1 million prize. Bailey's Comets, Bailey's Comets, Bailey's Comets.
There you go, Bailey's Comets.
Let me say, anybody who can skate in sand, I understand.
Oh my God!
Yeah, and if you notice, the art is very similar to the Archies.
Very similar. Yep.
Yeah, very similar to Archie, Sabrina.
Josie.
It's probably the same company.
Yeah. So this one, I was surprised by this one. The more I looked into it, the weirder it got. The listing of the episodes and how the other teams would find clues and everything else, and it was just a really strange show. Didn't last very long at all.
Yeah.
All right. So the next one is based off of a couple of short stories from the early 20th century called "The Reluctant Dragon and Mr. Toad." Okay, and this was 1970 from ABC, and now, this should have been a hit because this was a Rack and Bass production. This is the guys who brought us all those wonderful Christmas specials. But it went from September Labor Day weekend until the day after Christmas, and then never was done again. This was a huge commercial and financial and critical flop. The critics hated it. The audience didn't watch it. And they pulled it, even though it did run as reruns later on as filler. But basically what you had is a 3-segment show with the dragon on the first and third segment and Mr. Toad in the middle segment. I never saw the show. I didn't even know it existed until I started doing the research on this show.
I'm right there with you.
So go ahead and run the opening theme.
The Reluctant Dragon.
And the Mr. Toad Show. He's the most reluctant dragon that the world has ever seen. It's a very mild-mannered dragon who's reluctant to be mean. Though he may be big, he's the silent type. He's reluctant to be a violent type. You can even try him out.
Oh, delicious. Coconut custard. Jimper.
My bad.
That should be a no-no.
He's the most reluctant dragon that the world has ever seen. It's a very mild-mannered dragon.
A daisy.
There you go.
Oh, cute little stupid dragon.
Yeah, I can see it's unforgettable. I mean, forgettable.
It's very forgettable.
Very
Okay?
forgettable.
You like 5 minutes after the show is over, people are gonna go, there was something I don't know, I forgot about it. You know? Okay, this is probably gonna be our most forgettable show too. Okay, because of these. But apparently, from everything I've been reading, it was this show was just. I mean, the ratings on this were perhaps the worst of all the shows on this list. Okay, that nobody watched this show. Absolutely nobody is what they're saying from what I was reading. And so it got pulled and kind of not talked about afterwards. You know. Okay. All right. The next one is called Baggy Pants and the Nitwits. Okay, so Baggy Pants is a parody of Chaplin. Okay, he's a cat, and it's much like Pink Panther. So he doesn't speak. You know, the Pink Panther episodes where there was no language, his entire segments are done without any language. The Nitwits, you may recognize them from a certain show called Laugh-In.
Laugh-In!
Right.
Ruth Buzzy.
Artie Johnson, who created them, with Ruth Buzzy playing his wife. Artie Johnson's character is a retired superhero who comes out of retirement, and his wife is with him, basically keeping him on the straight and narrow. Okay. Now,
the wife that obviously the old man finally got.
Right. Now, the funny thing about this show is I did see it a couple of times, so I do remember it. It wasn't horrible, but it was pretty forgettable. Guess who produced this show?
Rowan and Martin?
Dick
No,
Clark.
I thought of that too until I read it.
Dick Clark?
Fritz Freeling.
Fritz Freeling. Okay.
Wow.
From the Warner Brothers days. Okay. And to be honest, this thing is pretty forgettable. Okay, so go ahead and run the opening theme on it.
Who's the hobo everyone knows, and who's the superhero, superly slow? Who'll get you laughing until your side splits? It's Baggy Pants and the Nitwits. These are kooky, dingling folk. Everything they do is a joke. A pantomime prankster, a pair of misfits. It's Baggy Pants and the Nitwits. Oh, there'll be situations that tickle and tease. Far out thrills and chills, if you please. Outlandish characters, outrageous hits. It's Baggy Pants and the Nitwits. It's Baggy Pants and the Nitwits.
Some executive walked into a room full of musicians and said, "Guys, we need a song."
Yeah, exactly. Either that or the musicians are going, no, I'm not getting paid enough. You need to up my paycheck.
Yeah, one guy goes, "I got nothing."
Now I do have a question for the Kartoon Krew. Since the last comment was on Bailey's comments and we've gone past that, we're on the second one after that. I don't see any comments, so I'm just curious to see if they're still there. We got tagged.
Nope, I'm still live.
Okay.
On my phone, I'm still live.
Okay, good. All right. So pretty much unforgettable. Not the most horrible of the shows that we've done, but pretty forgettable. Okay. So we're coming up on the next one, which was called Space Sentinels. All right. 1977 was originally called the Young Sentinels, but they changed it to Space. Why?
Because they ran out of it.
No.
Sorry.
Because of the space program?
Nope. 1977. What came out in May of 1977?
Oh, Star Wars.
Star Wars. So you had this huge success with Star Wars. You had everybody trying to scramble. I mean, come on. Even Roger Corman got into the case with Battle Beyond the Planets, the Magnificent Seven in space. So they changed it from Young Sentinels to Space Sentinels. There was a problem with that, though, was by the time they made that change, the dialogues and the title cards and everything had been done, so they had to scramble fast. So there are a number of times in the narration referred to as the Young Sentinels. All right. So basically, what do you have? You have 3 kids grabbed centuries ago from different parts of the world, given superpowers like the Roman gods, Hercules, Mercury, and Astra. Okay. They're part of an interstellar group, much like the Green Lantern Corps, who basically protect the world and the surrounding local space. And I never saw it, never heard of them.
I have.
Okay. So why don't you run the clip and show the people what they missed?
Well, if anybody can look at the artwork as well and give us some idea of what they think it's reminiscent of, I'm sure they've seen it in other shows. Check this out.
Many centuries ago, 3 carefully selected young earthlings were transported from their native lands to my faraway world. Here they were granted astounding powers and eternal youth. Then returned to Earth. Their mission, to watch over the human race, helping the good in it to survive and flourish. In the course of history, their names have become legend. Hercules, empowered with the strength of 100 men. Astria, able to assume any living form. Mercury, the amazing athlete who can match the speed of light. Working together with me, Sentinel-1, and my maintenance robot, Mo. These teenage guardians form the greatest team the world has ever known, the Space Sentinels.
Wow. Wow. There are a lot of shows based on that same format by that company, Lou and Norm, forget the last name.
Yeah.
Who came out with Tarzan, Zorro.
Now, I think this show actually had some influence on another primetime show in the 1980s. Okay. You'll notice where they hid the spaceship and how the spaceship went down, right?
Okay.
What does that remind you of fans of Jan Michael Vincent?
Oh, my God. Airwolf?
Yeah. When I saw that in the clip, my thought went to Airwolf. Okay. Yeah. And that was before Airwolf. Okay. Right. So I'm thinking this show at least might have influenced some producers somewhere, you know? But yeah, again, highly forgettable. You know, I remember watching it once or twice, but beyond that, I couldn't remember anything at all until I ran across it on the list of shows that were on.
Right.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it. Okay, see, this is, again, obscure shows. All right. So the next one is a 1969 from ABC. This one's even more obscure. And
I've seen it. I've watched it. I've watched this show.
I would have watched it too because I was living on a military base at the time.
I've watched this show.
This is called the Skyhawks. All right. It's a family-run transport company for various missions and rescues, all to sell toys. Okay. There was controversy about this because there were complaints from another toy company that this and its sister show Hot Wheels were only designed as to sell toys. And this was before the change in the 1980s. So it was produced by the same company that brought you Roger Ramjet.
Wow. Okay.
So why don't you go ahead and run that?
Right.
Okay.
Whoops. Sorry. I keep watching my TV over there.
I know, yeah, you do.
Guys are right there.
We gotta get you a webcam for right on top of your TV.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. That's what I gotta do. It's just I actually got one. I don't know if the cord's long enough to reach the laptop.
Well, we'll get you an extension.
Fly with us, be a skyhawk, soaring high on every flight. Fly with us, be a skyhawk, wings for higher, for what is right, be a skyhawk.
Come fly with Steve and Carolyn Wilson, the teenage twins of Cap Wilson, former Air Force colonel and now the head of the Skyhawks. Be a co-pilot to adventure with Cap's father, Pappy Wilson, World War I ace, and Cap's foster children, Red, Hughes, and Little Cindy. The Flying Wilson family takes on any job that can be done with wings for hire.
Fly with us, be a skyhawk. Buckle up and fly. Fly right beside us as a skyhawk.
Okay, I'm gonna go out and buy me some planes.
So we've got twins flying. We've got a former World War II colonel with 2 foster kids, and you got an old grandpa who's a World War I flying ace. I'm like going,
Yeah, I kind of got it. Yeah,
okay, so they were either rescuing people or hauling cargo and or doing secret government work also, you know? Just like I watched that and I'm like going, what the heck was this? You know? And I've heard of this show too, but I had never watched it.
I did. I did watch the show. It came on late too. I think 11 o'clock afternoon or something like that. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just horrified. All right, so we're down to the last 2, and they're both live action. Okay, so the first one is interesting because there was some major controversy about it. Okay, it's called West Wind. All right, so it's based on a 2-mast schooner there that basically goes out into the ocean, and they do this, you know, the things about science or danger or some sort of adventure, and it was filmed pretty much by the same people who did Flipper, and it was done in Hawaii, so I'm sure that the production crew had no problem working there. And it stars Van Williams. Does anybody know who Van Williams is?
Of course. Green Hornet.
There you go. Okay, now, here's the problem. 1975, what sort of bathing suit are people wearing for the ladies?
Oh, bikinis.
Right. This is a children's show, so producers and censors freaked out and decided that they wanted no cleavage shown, so inserts were inserted into the bathing suit to hide cleavage, which created more controversy because it drew more attention. Okay?
Oh, man.
I'm just like, oh my God. So basically what it is, you know, it's a standard, you know, live action adventure science, you know, attempt at thing for kids. 1975, I have no idea what how long or whatever this thing went, but there was some less than wonderful thoughts. Oh, they did work. Just throw some on there. My wife's just bringing me some food that we weren't sure was going to be any good. Okay. Oh, you do. Okay, so my daughter is coming around talking, so excuse that. So anyway, I had never heard of West Wind. I had never seen it until I saw this, and I have to say I'm horrified. So go ahead and run it.
Before we go, I've never heard of West Wind either. So, and I didn't look at your clip that you sent me yet.
Yeah.
So I'm really intrigued, but it brought a lot of memories of Danger Island. Which was
Right,
part of,
Danger Island and Flipper.
Yeah, because I still had the hots for that young girl that was in there too, and how you doing? And Jan Michael Vincent.
Jan Michael Vincent again, you know.
West Wind, voyage to danger.
West Wind. Yeah, that's Danger Island, dude. I even had to sing Danger Island through that. That's Danger Island.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd never seen it, never heard of it. So I never seen or heard it before. So I don't know what's going on with this thing.
How many episodes was there? Do you know?
I didn't say. On everything I looked, I didn't see. But I'm assuming it had to do. If it's probably one season, probably went for 13 episodes.
So they couldn't show cleavage, but he gets to have his shirt unbuttoned.
Right.
Hey! Different. He didn't walk
I'm
around.
not complaining, but you know.
No one's staring at my boobies. Okay, different.
But yeah, but that was always the big note on everything I looked up on West Wind. When I looked up everything, about the show, no matter what I found, they always kept coming back to mentioning this.
Yeah.
So I don't know why. So it had to have been an incredibly forgettable show.
Did Van Williams go on to play in anything else in his career? I mean, I didn't even know about this job.
I don't know. I know he was originally supposed to be the father in Lost in Space, but I guess,
he was up to the role.
Yeah, he was originally one of the two people in the finals, and they went with the other guy. Yeah, beyond that, I have no idea. I mean, all I know Van Williams from is from Green Hornet, and beyond that, I don't know what his career did.
Yeah, first string.
I do know that that he did at one point. He played Robin Hood I think in the 1950s.
How about that? Okay.
Yeah. Beyond that, I have no idea what happened to Van Williams. Afterwards. But he looks tan. He looks buff.
Yeah.
He looked like he wasn't hurting too bad.
Yeah.
So, all right. Last show here, 1974 on NBC. So we all know the story of The Fugitive, right? Because of the movie, because of the great TV show. Well, they couldn't leave well enough alone. So
Okay, I watched this show.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, but I've forgotten about it. And when I looked through your clip, I started cracking up. But I'm like, okay, all right, whatever.
Okay, so let me give our crew here a gist of what Joe Run is. Joe is a canine dog from one of the military. He's in training. Another dog attacks the trainer. And since dogs all look alike, Joe is accused of having done the attack.
Oh,
and Joe is supposed to be put down, but Joe escapes. And Joe now is running through the Southern California woods helping people as he tries to escape the law. There's a $200 reward out for this dangerous dog. Now, who's chasing him but the guy who supposedly got attacked to prove Joe's innocence?
He's probably got one arm, too.
No, he's still got both arms. But after the first season, they changed it up, and Joe hooks up with this hiker, and they're just traveling along, not just running away from anybody, and they're helping people out as they go along. Yeah, 2 seasons, I completely never remember seeing this.
No.
Yeah. So basically, they said everywhere I looked on this, they said basically it's The Fugitive meets Lassie. Now, here's a fun note that you're going to love this, okay? Quinlan, I'm on the air, please. This was produced by the same company that brought you West Wind.
They were on a roll, man.
Yeah. Either that or they got a really good deal with the studios.
Got it.
So go ahead and run that clip.
Okay. Run, Joe! Run! Run, Joe! Run, Joe! No, he's got flashback. His bionic eye kicked in. Look, he's doing it again. Only $200. I ain't looking for no damn dog for $200.
Accused of attacking his trainer, Sergeant Will Corey. A crime he did not commit. Only Corey can prove him innocent, but he must find Joe before his pursuers track him down.
You wouldn't like him when he's angry.
If you can find him, if you can afford him, you can hire the dog team.
Run, Joe! Run! Run!
Joe gets away from a deadly hunter, but Joe also knows there are others out there somewhere waiting. And this is the nightmare shared by Corey, who cannot stop his search for Joe any more than Joe can stop his running.
Okay, you can stop it there. All right.
stop when he's tired.
So here's a sub note on this: is that the dog was actually the producer's dog. Okay.
Oh,
Little
wow.
nepotism going on there.
Oh my goodness.
That's
All right.
double dipping, man.
But I just was like, yeah, David's right. $200 was a lot of money in '74.
Well, okay.
And Charles is right. If you could find them, if you can afford them, you can hire the K9 team. Okay.
It's probably about $1,000 equivalent today. Probably.
Yeah, or thereabouts. But I just was like, oh my! So this is where the 18. I don't know. But
Oh
still.
my God!
Yeah,
Right,
it's just
Joe?
dreadful.
Now the
I was
funny
waiting
thing,
for that dog's. I was waiting for the dog's leg braces to break off. You know.
oh no! Because I'm an old Bionic fan. I was waiting for because they did do a thing where dog was Bionic. I was waiting for the Bionic theme, music running, da-na-na-na-na-na-na. Okay.
I'm running in slow motion. Then we knew he was really running.
So.
Right, Joe. Don't die on us yet.
No, I just when I laughed too hard. Okay, so at the same time, during prime time, there were 2 TV movies that dealt with dogs that were popular, and it was about Dobermans that were basically bank robbers.
Yes, I remember that show. Yeah.
Nobody knew who the Dobermans were, their original owners and trainers. There was one which was a sequel, which was they retrained the dogs, and nobody knew who or what these dogs were or whatever, but they always ended up doing something. So
Don't die on us, Jerome.
I'm not going to die on you yet. I've got too many more things to make Mark mad about.
Oh, I didn't notice. I didn't mute you once.
Yes, I know. Thank you. So at this point, that's what I got. Are there more
Sorry.
All right. So are there more obscure Saturday morning shows to look at? Yes, there are. Because there are lots of stuff that we're looking at and we're going, I don't remember this. I never saw this. And only our Kartoon Krew has seen some of these shows. I want you to notice that. Okay?
Yeah. Well, and that's what I like about, us doing this show is that, you say Saturday morning cartoons and people's minds automatically switch to Bugs Bunny or the Roadrunner or things like that. But there was a lot of Saturday morning cartoons that went on. Saturday mornings was, cartoons was decades long in terms of us viewers. So there's still a lot of stuff out there that we're going to show. What else you got, Jerome?
That's it. I am done. I did 13 shows. There are more to do, but I thought 13 was pressing my luck considering some of the behind-the-scenes issues that we've had on the number of shows that we've shown. I don't have any more at the moment.
I got this big 65-inch TV screen that I'm looking at you guys right now, and I still can't reach your neck. It's like you really had to, and I don't mind this because every time I say, these guys give me ideas of shows that they want to do for Saturday morning, I just go, that sucks. That's a stupid idea. No way. You're going to fail. And I'm always proven wrong because during the end of each one of these horrible shows, with roses last week and Jerome's this week, they still come out smelling like roses, which I'm really, really appreciative of. But our Kartoon Krew are very supportive and knowledgeable. They can research stuff for us really quickly, and they put it up on the in the chat room, and I put it up on the screen as quickly as possible, especially if somebody has a question about something. So it's fantastic. It is not my turn next week. It is in fact, I think Rose wanted to take it over.
Yes, we did.
Yes, I am hijacking your week, Mark.
You're I'm bookend now. It's like, oh God, horrible between horrible. What do you got for us for next week, Rose, or do you want to tell us?
Next Saturday is my birthday, so I am hijacking the show, and we're gonna do cartoons and maybe some mix of stuff from 1971, the year I was born.
Oh my God! Well, we know Scooby went on for a long time, so I don't know if you're going to throw any Scooby in there.
Well, we'll see. I've looked at the schedules for 1971, and some of that stuff's pretty dreadful.
Here we go again. Okay, guys, and when it's my turn again, believe me, you will be getting some quality entertainment. So
no, we won't. No, we won't.
You just have to go through one more desert, okay, and then you're gonna come into this oasis when I come on screen with
No,
my.
but I'm gonna try to make it a lot of fun because I was supposed to be at SpaceCon next Saturday. I was looking forward to that because it was gonna be on my birthday. But
Right.
you all know what happened with those, you know.
Yeah. Well, Rose, it was Jerome's intention of making this one a lot of fun too. So,
Hey, you know what? I got an education this morning from Jerome because I will say that 100% of these I'd never seen before.
Run, Jerome, run! It's like, there it goes. But yeah, hey, a few notes. Next Friday night, if you guys can join us, next Friday night at 7 p.m. Since I'm the cruise god, I think, in this state, because I've been on 67 cruises.
I've never been on one.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. But usually during each cruise, there's almost like a newlywed game that they do on board ship. And they pull out 3 couples who was married the longest, who was married the least, and who's dead in the middle somewhere, like 15, 25 years or whatever.
That'd be deep.
And they get asked some very risque questions of living habits, shall I say, of their of their spouses. So I'm hosting a show next Friday night, and I have 6 couples that are going to be on screen, and I'm going to be asking some really risque questions of the living. So pop in and check this out because I think it's going to be very interesting and probably very funny. There may be a few divorces that are a product of this show. So you might want to watch this show next week to see who in fact survives. And we are looking for the couple who knows their spouse the best. So I forget the name of it because I made the title so freaking long I can't remember it. But they knew what they were doing when they kissed.
Yep.
Okay, they knew what they were doing when they kissed. Remember that after watching this show and who you end up with. This may actually change your mind for a lot of single people not getting married because you're going to learn a lot about these daily habits. And both these guys on the screen with me now are married, unfortunately. And I'm only the one that they try to grow up to be like. Because these two, I'm sure they have their living habits with their own spouses.
Yep.
And things they can never get out of their mind.
Hey, listen, I did it twice.
Man, glutton for punishment. So
there you go.
I've been single twice as long as you've been married. How about that?
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Well, I've been married 24 years, Mark.
Wow.
And you know why? Because we don't do shows like they know what you're doing.
So,
I guess you do pick up things to do and not to do when you know you have to cohabitate with each other for the rest of your life. But then again, I'm an educated man and I wouldn't have no idea what that's like. So other than that, so Jerome did this today, which was fantastic.
Also on the 20th of January, I'm a guest on Reels and Heels.
On January or June?
Yeah, June 20th. I'm sorry, June 20th.
June.
Sorry, I'm thinking wedding anniversaries because that's my parents' wedding anniversary is January 20th. So.
Yeah, and I wasn't really going to wait that long. I was wondering why are you telling me this?
Sorry.
Now?
I'm thinking about my parents. When I'm thinking the 20th, I immediately go to their wedding anniversary. But June 20th.
Forward to that, Jerome.
Yeah. So June 20th, I'm a guest on Reels and Heels.
Reels and Heels is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those guys are. Did they have me on? Yeah,
they had you on. They had you on like a couple weeks ago.
I'm the last of this crew to go on Reels and Heels.
Yeah, look, I've been up since 1:30. I still got Mannix going through my freaking brain right now.
I see you more of as a Barnaby Jones kind of guy.
Well, thank you. I'm sure you're telling me that because of my age, but he's a smart dude, man. I mean, I was watching him. He had to discover a murder weapon, and it was blood on a fire extinguisher that somebody had already rinsed clean or whatever. And Barnaby had some sort of solution in a spray bottle and just went squishy, squishy, squishy. Oh, look, blood. And I'm like, what? What you got in your hand? So that was my Barnaby Jones morning. But look, Hold on, I got a tape going on here. Let's switch this up here. All right, now let's drop this here. So next week we got something from 1971.
Yeah, we're saluting 1971.
Yeah, from 1971. And
Mark, are you gonna get like a hit song from '71 to replace our theme music?
I was sitting here thinking, it's like, what the hell was a hit? What was? I don't even remember 1971. I was around, but I don't remember 1971.
I was out of the country.
Okay, Scooby Doo. Like the only thing I know that was,
Josie
and the Pussycats was in '71.
We'll find out next week.
She's not telling us anything. Rose is like, get off my topic, you.
Will Mark and Jerome survive the terrible death trap that Rose has set up? Stay tuned.
Was the anime series Planet of the Apes? I don't know.
I don't know.
We will see. But hey, great job, Jerome, today. Thank you so much for what you did. We appreciate it tremendously. Thank you, Kartoon Krew, for joining us. You guys were fantastic. I hope you're still on. I'm seeing messages and I'm not seeing messages, so I guess they're still there. But other than that, what we'll do is go ahead and sign off, and we will check you guys. Let's get everybody back up on the screen because I'm having a hard time. Actually, not you. Hold on, Jerome. I meant to hit another button. There we go. All righty. So today was a obscured whatever. Oh, good job, Cheryl.
Cheryl.
Ooh, Cheryl.
Cheryl on the ball.
You know, that song was written about me. You know, who is the man who just like his brother, man?
Mark Shaft.
Right on. You know, Shaft, he's a bad mother. Shut your mouth. I was only talking about Shaft. We can dig it. Anyway, so he's a complicated man.
Was that Roundtree? Wasn't that Roundtree?
Yes, Richard Roundtree.
Richard Roundtree. There you go.
Yeah, thanks, Hey, you guys need to come on as guests sometimes, guys. Come up with your own list that you want to host. Be a guest on our show with your own list of cartoons and so on. I do all the hard work. You only need to provide me with a list. So, and we'll work that out for you. So, thank you, everybody, for joining us. This is us signing off. We are out of here. Arrivederci, goodbye, and thank you for watching Saturday Morning Cartoons. Bye-bye.